So when we're shooting a rooftop deck, we have a couple things taken into consideration. We've got taller railings around, so we need to bring the camera height up quite a bit so that we can see up and over. We also want to prep the space and make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. So like on this deck right now, we've got some leaves on the ground and some garbage. We're just gonna pick this stuff up and get rid of it. It's a lot easier to clean up this space now and get rid of any little leaves than trying to Photoshop it out, especially with the pattern on the ground. So to Photoshop these little horizontal and vertical lines is a pain. So just do your job before and pick everything up. It makes it way easier. We also want to check the furniture and make sure all the furniture is all set where you want it and it looks good. Fluff the pillows and get it all ready. So all right, camera height. So I usually shoot about chest height. I'm gonna bring my tripod all the way up, extend all the legs so that I've got enough height to be able to shoot and be able to see up and over and to see the view. That's really important on these rooftop decks that you can see what's going on out here. You also want to get one shot where you can kind of see the furniture and the setup, but the most important thing is that view. So, and I'm going to shoot all four corners of the rooftop deck, and I'm going to have two walls, and then I'm going to incorporate my third wall. So remember, the third wall is just a sliver of that third wall. So we've got one wall, two wall, and then a little bit of the third. So they might not use all of these images, but at least they have them, right? So I always just shoot to cover the space, and then they can decide whether or not they want to use that shot. But that way we don't have to go back to the house, because there's nothing worse than having to go back and shoot one rooftop deck photo or one kitchen. So just shoot to cover the space. On the rooftop deck here, we've got some awesome views of the Space Needle. And then if you stand over far enough here, we can see a little bit of the city. So I'm gonna switch lenses, put on the 70-200, and I will show you the composition that we're gonna get for this shot. So if we come way over here, we can see a little sliver of the city. You can see the Space Needle out here. We've got some great trees that are creating some natural framing for us. So with composition, you want to take into account rule of thirds, natural framing, depth. Symmetry is another one you can always incorporate. So a lot of times with the views, I use the trees as a natural frame to frame my image. And then I also incorporate the rule of thirds. So I want 2/3 of the frame to be filled with the land and the trees, and 1/3 to be the sky. So I'm going to use the trees over here on the left-hand side, in the left third of the frame, and then I've got the Space Needle over here in the right third of the frame. I've got this ugly house right here that I might frame it up a little bit higher just to get rid of that. So sometimes you just have to adjust and break the rules, and that's totally fine, whatever you need to do to make it the most compelling image that you can. One of the biggest selling points of these modern townhomes is the view. So it's very important that we get some great shots off the rooftop deck.